Hello, everyone. It is Catherine on this beautiful day in Lake Tahoe, right smack in the middle of summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. It is absolutely glorious here today and surprisingly quiet. Maybe after the 4th of July holiday, a lot of people did clear out of Tahoe, which is good. So I'm enjoying this nice, mild respite from all the tourism. So I wanted to come on real quick and talk about Mercury Retrograde. And, we're in this until, I forget, maybe mid-August. And I wanted to help you kind of rethink Mercury Retrograde and give you some attitude adjusting tips. I saw the other day a Facebook post, about, all the things that you shouldn't do or shouldn't tackle or shouldn't be involved in during Mercury retrograde. And I know that it was meant to be helpful by the person who posted it. But let me just ask you straight up, do you think it's ever helpful when you have someone come at you and tell you all the things that you shouldn't be doing? I mean, do you? Because I don't. And, I have my own very strong opinions about things. I'm a Capricorn. I do things my way. I march to the beat of my own drummer. I always have. So anyone who ever tells me not to do something, my first kind of ego impetus is to prove them wrong and, go ahead and do it anyway, sometimes out of spite. But, I know that the post was meant to be helpful, to help give some guidance about, Mercury retrograde messes with communication and messes with travel, things like that, blah, 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 blah. But that is so disempowering to be in this place where, if it messes with communication, then I better not sign any contracts, or I better not do this, or I better not start this new project, or I better not do that, okay? Let me just address that right off the bat. If you believe that during this time of Mercury retrograde, it's better to just, pull the covers over your head and hide in bed and wait it out until Mercury retrograde is over. If you believe that everything in your life is going to go haywire if you go against these energies in some way, then they will. Absolutely. It depends on your belief system. And if you are believing in something that is that disempowering, you're going to prove yourself right every single time. So I want to address that right off the bat. And if you are someone that puts a lot of stock or a lot of stake in what happens during the time of Mercury retrograde, and it slows things down, or it has this feeling it's making things go backwards, let me give you some things to help you rethink that, okay? Let me give you an analogy. So if you're moving along at a real quick pace in your life, you're doing a lot of things, you're a mover, you're a shaker, you're a doer, okay? I'm a doer. I like to do things. I like to be busy. I like to be involved in a lot of stuff. Have my irons in a lot of different fires at once, okay? Mercury retrograde is an invitation from the universe to slow it down, okay? When you have a cold, if you are someone that gets a cold or a flu during flu season, what does that do for you? Well, it slows you down, doesn't it? And most of us are in this constant state of this false sense of urgency. We got to do all the things. We got to do all the things, and we got to do it now. We got to do it today. And we have a to-do list that is dizzying for even the most, alpha achiever. We have a false sense of urgency and maybe an unclear sense of priority about what things need to be done and when. We just need to do all the things. So when you have a cold, everything gets put on hold. If you have the kind of colds like I do, where I get sick and I'm just like, I'm down for the count. My brain can't function. I got brain fog. I can't go live because I can't articulate the thoughts in my head. I physically feel like I just need to rest, like I need to nap and whatever. So it slows you down. It kind of takes you out of rotation. Yes? Okay. Well, Mercury retrograde can have the same effect. But it's almost like this voluntary thing that you can opt into, where you can say, all right, this is a time to go slow and steady with what I'm doing. This is a time to reprioritize what things I might have under the column of false sense of urgency. Where I'm not taking time to work on me or take care of me or satisfy my needs, make sure I have everything that I need to fill up my vessel so that I can help everyone else around me. This is a time for you to course correct. This is a time to prioritize. This isn't necessarily a time to take yourself completely out of rotation or to stop doing the things that you would do in your normal life, because let's face it, Mercury retrograde is a long time to take yourself out of the rotation of things, to say no to things, to stop signing contracts, to not travel or do whatever the things that are part of the fear-mongering hive mind aspect of looking at Mercury retrograde. This is a time really to course correct. This is a time to go inward. This is a time to redirect your energy on, okay, where am I not filling up my vessel? Where am I not giving myself what I need? Where am I in this sense of like crisis management where I feel like I'm putting out fires all the time? How can I quell that energy? What can I do in my life to get rid of some things, or maybe add in some more things in my self-care routine so I don't feel that way all the time, so I don't feel this false sense of urgency? And when we are in this place of false sense of urgency, all of the anger and the frustration and the feelings of there's never enough time, there's never enough this, there's never enough that, whatever that is, that all gets amplified during Mercury retrograde because the energies are slowing things down. We're not going backwards. I mean, retrograde has this, in the definition of retrograde, it's like a going backwards, but it's not. It's actually like a slowing down. So you're not jiving with the energy of things slowing down, and that's why your false sense of urgency feels that much more urgent, and why you get more angry, or angry at yourself or angry at the world, or you start pointing the finger of blame or feeling resentment about things. It gets amplified and magnified during this time because you are so at odds with this energy. So this is a time to reframe Mercury retrograde and maybe even get on board with thinking, okay, well, maybe Mercury retrograde is my friend. Maybe Mercury retrograde is an invitation from the universe in a friendly, supportive way saying, okay, where can I slow things down? Where can I reprioritize my life and course correct so that I don't feel this urgency, this crush of time or crush on my finances, or wherever you're feeling like under the weight of something that feels like really heavy, really dense. Because the universe is trying to give you a message that you're just not getting. And it's not that you can't sign contracts. It's not that you can't travel. It's not that you can't be a brilliant communicator and get the thoughts out of your head and get them on paper or speak them. It's that you are being gifted with an opportunity to say things in a different way, do things in a different way, opt in for more power in your life by stopping all the madness of doing all the things that are really not serving you or anyone else for that matter. Because if you're not serving yourself, you're really not serving anyone else in the highest and best way. Let's reframe that, rethink that right away. More jets. More jets. It's celebrity golf this week here in Tahoe, so there's private jets flying like every 20 minutes. It's really annoying. This is a time to course correct. This is a time to take inventory. Not to retreat necessarily, but to just go inward and do a little deeper self-examination, a little deeper self-excavation of the things that aren't serving you. And so that's my tips for Mercury retrograde. And personally in my life, I am slowing down quite a bit during this time. I have a lot of things that I set out to do in July, and I'm still going to do them. But the fiery energy that started off this month has kind of been curtailed a little bit. And that's actually a good thing, because I think I mentioned I am a Capricorn. I am an achiever. I'm a doer. And this is a great time for me to just kind of take the cue from the universe and slow down, man. Just chill out for a little bit. And so, today, for instance, instead of spending the first 3 waking hours on Facebook or Instagram or doing email or anything where I had to sit at my computer, I decided to just take my dog for a walk and linger around the lake and really enjoy my time, really kind of be introspective and look at, okay, well, what would I do today that's really going to serve me? Sure, I can still be of service to others, but what can I do to make sure that I get my needs met? What can I do to make sure that I'm feeling good? And then how can I show up and help one person today? Instead of feeling like I have to help a whole bunch of people or add a whole bunch of value to somebody's day by, making some big, long email post or some Facebook post or whatever, which I will do, but I don't have any sense of urgency about it. I don't feel like I'm missing out on money or sales because I didn't do it at this particular time of the day. I'm going to take care of me. And that's how I feel during this time of July, where I'm going to do the things that I want to get done. I'm better able to prioritize and make a list of things that I need to do, that I need to give my attention, my focus to. But I'm going to do it on a little slower timeline. I'm going to drag it out a little bit more. I'm going to take more breaks. I'm going to meditate a little bit more during this time. I'm going to get outside and walk with my bare feet on the ground, on the earth, in the sand, feel the grass underneath my feet, and just connect with the earth and ground myself. I'm going to do all those things too, because those are a priority for me just as much as making sure that I make sales or making sure that I keep momentum going in my business. My sense of feeling grounded and feeling connected to my body and connected to my life and being connected to the present moment, that's just as important for me. And it should be as important for you. I don't want to say should. It can be as important for you during this time of Mercury retrograde, and I hope that it is. So I hope this message has found you well. I hope maybe I've given you a little tip on rethinking Mercury retrograde and what it can mean for you. And I hope you'll really take this message to heart and reprioritize the things that just ain't working. And to be frank, if you're honest with yourself, maybe you'll realize some of those things that you can reprioritize haven't been working for you for a long time. So why are you forcing it? Why do you feel like you still want to kind of push that agenda? Is there something in it where you're managing other people's expectations and you're not really serving yourself in the highest and best way? Or maybe it's just not the time. Maybe it's just not the time. Maybe you can shelve it and it can wait for a while. And then you can, tackle it with fresh energy later on, months down the line, maybe even weeks down the line, maybe even days down the line, doesn't matter. But give yourself a break. Give yourself just a breather and say, what can I do today that serves me? What can I change? What can I move around? How can I change some things on my timeline every day that I've been doing on a regular routine that just feels like stale or old? Where can I bring some fresh energy in that allows me to have a different perspective, a different take on what's going on in my life? So I want to wish you all love and peace. Bye-bye.